Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give our praises, all glory and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah Kodash, the bananas, the elders, and the apostles, our great millstone. Shalom to the elect across the four corners of the earth. I here again want another lesson, and it will be going into further detail of my testimony of seeing a chariot. I did a lesson a while back with seeing a chariot, a golden chariot go inside a purple portal, right? So I just wanted to go into different, details about it because it hit me yesterday, right, in my mind. It just came in my mind randomly to do a lesson about it, right? And it's dealing with, the colors, all right? It was it also stand out to me as spiritual, right? Because the Most High does deal with colors, right? Even on the left hand side, they deal with colors when they're doing certain when they're having certain ceremonial rituals. All right, everybody will wear a particular color, right? And it's the same thing on the right hand side. Now the Lord does deal with colors. You understand? Even when the prophets in the scriptures get certain visions, they'll speak about, the color of a beast. Like, for instance, the dragon. It didn't just say dragon, it described the dragon as a red dragon. Why? Because the red represents something. So, in this case here, right, the testimony that I had in seeing this golden chariot, glowing golden chariot going into this purple portal, those are two royal colors. All right, gold represents loyalty as well as purple, right? Gold represents heavenly glory, incorruptible purity, kingship, as well as purple, which represents royalty, wealth, and divine authority, right? Those were the definitions that I got, looking up what purple and gold represents, And even though if you have these false camps like IUIC, they being in purple and gold, hey, we not in that time yet. All right? The scriptures say to prophesy, in sackcloth. You understand? Even the scriptures speak about there's a time for everything. All right? Right now we mourning, right? When you mourning, you don't look your best. You look in a repentant state. You wear sackcloth, right? And some of us brothers, some of us wear literal sackcloth in GMS, but we all wear sackcloth, right? And the Lord is gonna get us out of this low state that we in. Are we gonna get into that, that seat of glory, all right? That place of honor and great authority. We're gonna join here with Yahweh Shai. But as of right now, we in a low state. Okay? So I starting off in the book of Ecclesiasticus, also in Sirach, chapter 2, and verse 4. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a low estate. Because right now we are in a low state indeed. Right? But the Lord is going to take us out of this low state. You understand? For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. And that is it. The Lord is refining his elect as pure gold. As pure 24 karat gold. When you look at 24 karat gold, the color and the shine on it, the color and the shine on it outclass the 18 karat and the 10 karat and the rest are karat, because that is the gold in its pure form, right? 24 karat, right? You get that deep, rich gold color. You understand? And that is what the Lord is wants his elect to be pure. The Lord is refining his elect, right? So from there, let me go in the book of Job. This is the book of Job, chapter 23 and verse 10. But he knoweth the way that I take. When he had tried me, I shall come forth as gold. And Job was a man known for his patience and integrity, right? And that is something what the elect have, right? The elect have that patience, all right? And they're gonna be tried as gold, all right? So from there, let me go in the book of Zechariah. This is the book of Zechariah, chapter 13 and verse 9. And I will bring the third part through the fire, and will refine them as silver is refined, and will try them as gold is tried. They shall call on my name, and I will hear them. I will say, it is my people, and they shall say, the Lord Yahweh is my God. And that is what going to take place, right? But as I mentioned, they are being tried and refined as gold and silver. And particularly here, I'm referring to the gold. You understand? So that it stood out, right? Seeing that gold glowing chariot going into that purple portal, right? Because the chariot could be a different color. You know, we see chariots from time to time, they look different colors. Some look light blue, some look a little purple, right? Some look red. But in this case, this one was gold. And instead of it disappearing or just going fast, the eye could see, it opened up a purple portal right in front of me, right? And the portal could be any other color, but it was purple, right? So it was just, a thought that came in mind, right? Randomly, you understand? I was completely thinking about something else, and a random thought just came in mind, and it was like, do a lesson on this, right? Because the Lord is dealing with colors too. You understand? So the Lord is refining his elect unto pure gold, and he's gonna take them into royalty. You understand? This is the book of 1 Samuel, chapter 2 and verse 8. He raised up the poor out of the dust, and lifted up the beggar from the dunghill, to set them among princes, and to make them inherit the throne of glory. For the pillars of the earth are the Lord's, and he had set the world upon them. That is what the Heavenly Father getting ready to do. The Lord is getting ready to glorify his elect, right? In style. You understand? Because the elect is in a low state right now. You understand? They are catching hell and bearing the indignation of the Lord. Like Micah said, I will bear the indignation of the Lord till he plead my cause. All right? But the Lord isn't going to leave us in this low estate. Our Lord willing, we have the elect. The Lord is going to raise us back up. All right? The Lord is going to rouse us up. You understand? I'm gonna bring out this next precept. This is the book of this is the book of James, chapter 2 and verse 5. Hearken, my beloved brethren, had not the Most High chosen the poor of this world rich in faith, and heirs of the kingdom which he had promised to them that love him? And that's it. The Lord chose the poor out of this world, because the Lord didn't make his elect to be rich here. The scriptures say what? Woe unto you that are rich, for ye have received your consolation. Alright? The elect ain't going to be no multi-time billionaire or millionaire here. The Lord wants his elect to be a certain way to purify them. Alright? And that is what the Lord is doing with his elect right now. Alright? Purifying them. Getting ready to inherit, everlasting riches and wealth and power. Being joined heirs with Yahweh Shai. That is what the Lord is preparing the elect for. You understand? But they're in a low state now. The Lord is going to purify his elect, make them as pure gold, and they're going to enter into that godhood, right? That kingship. Right? From there, I'm going to go in the book of Isaiah. Isaiah chapter 14 and verse 12. Salakia, I meant to say Isaiah chapter 14. Hold on, This thing get in trouble. I meant to say Isaiah chapter 13 verse 12. Salakia. Right? It says, I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir. That is what the Lord is getting ready to do. Right? And even before they be taken up in them chariots, the Lord is going to bless his men with spiritual power. Right? The ability to perform miracles that Yahweh Shai did and greater. Right? The Lord said that the things that I do, he that believeth on me, the works that I do, he shall do also, and greater works than these shall he do, because I go unto my Father. Yahweh Shai walked on water, he multiplied food, he bring the dead back to life, and he did so much miracles that, none of the books couldn't contain how much miracles that the Lord did. Right? So the elect is going to do greater. Alright, before Yahweh Shai comes back. Because he say because he has gone unto his Father. So the miracles what we're gonna be doing, right, at the one or the Zah is gonna be some of the miracles is gonna be the same as what Yahweh Shai did, and it's gonna be greater. You understand? Because Yahweh Shai is on a higher level now. Alright? The Lord is on a way higher level now. Flying is nothing to the Lord. Alright? Doing those things that he did 2,000 plus years ago, that ain't really, you understand? Those things is like basics. Right? And the Lord is the first spirit ever created, right, by Yahweh, and he is still alive, just like me and you is still alive that's listening into this video, right? So he is in his 2000s, right? The Lord could be 2000 and something years old because he's alive, right? He's in that extra terrestrial body. those same bodies that we are waiting for to receive when he returns. You understand? So this was just a lesson I wanted us to do, right? It was a thought just came into mind to do a lesson on this, right? This could be, another detail to add in what I saw. So that is the lesson. I want to give our praises all glory and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakah Kodash, double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and shalom to the elect.